Welcome everybody to Two Drunk Dudes in a Gun Room.
Brought to you by Savvy Army Entertainment. Sorry, you've been drinking.
Hey, this is Don.
And Doug.
So, today we're going to discuss some of our funniest stories, man. And I know we're going to get a shit ton of them from the military, but at the end of the day, there's still some stories that I just think back and I'm like, they make me laugh even when I'm just driving down the road, right? For example, when I was with the 160th, right? You know, there was always funny sayings about the Rangers. You know, how many Rangers can you get on a Chinook? Always one more, right? There was no maximum capacity. You just cram them in. Well, we were on a mission, right? And the crew chiefs loved fucking with the Rangers. And when you're flying in a Chinook, right, there's a handle that while it's going, it's a dead handle. It doesn't do anything. Okay. What it is designed for is if the APU or the hydraulics fail, you can jack it to lower the ramp to get out, right? It's just a manual handle. Well, the crew chief set it up with the pilots, and they could talk on the headsets, and nobody else could hear them, right? And as they were flying, that crew chief would tell the pilot, hey, dip the aircraft. And the aircraft would start dropping. And he ran up and he grabbed that fucking handle and he started pumping it. And all of a sudden the aircraft came back up, right? and these Rangers are watching that shit, right? And about that time, the aircraft starts dipping again. Man, that crew chief starts jacking that damn handle up. The aircraft comes back up, man. The Rangers are getting nervous as hell. And about that third time, the aircraft starts dipping. That crew chief starts jacking and he's getting tired by now, and he just says fuck it and throws his hands up. And there was a Ranger runs over, shoves him out of the way, and grabs that damn handle and starts jacking it. It kind of goes with our Facebook post, you know, about the things you have people to do.
So since you brought that up, right? So no, I was gonna bring that shit up, right? So we just posted something about like what's the funniest shit that you told somebody to do, right? And it actually had a lot of people jumping on.
It did.
I mean, and what's funny is, you know, and I think I posted on there that it works in the civilian world too. Maybe not some of the shit we did, right? But some of this shit, it does work in the civilian world, right?
Right.
So like the air sample.
Right.
Man, they had people taking air samples and bring that shit to me. To me, out of all fucking people. You know what I thought about? I like automatically had a flashback to an exhaust sample.
Yep.
We send people out to the tanks and get exhaust samples.
Yep.
And make sure you write the miles and hours on that shit, right? And they'd be holding this trash bag.
Look like a balloon.
They'd be trying to Sharpie the miles on this fucking trash bag as they're holding it, and then write the hours on it instead of like getting it before they got the exhaust sample.
Yeah.
And then they would take it to PLL and say, "Here's your exhaust sample," and PLL would be looking at them like, just shaking their fucking head. This shit was hilarious, man.
Oh, absolutely.
And the same way they showed up in my office, I was like, get the fuck out of my office. Just get the fuck. Well, I was told to bring it to you. No, my supervisor said bring it to you. I don't give a fuck. He works for me. Get the fuck out of my office. This is just the way I was. I was just like, I don't even want to go there right now. Leave me.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, man. Some of the things that you get people to do, it is absolutely hilarious. So, and some of it, you know, I would incorporate with like my punishments, you know. So you remember back when we were Echo Company and we started having to give you an update on what our soldiers was going to do that weekend, if they were going to drink, did they have a plan? Because our DUIs was just getting ridiculous, right? So I had this, you know, I couldn't do anything the rest of my day until I talked to every single soldier, you know. And I had this one guy would not call me back, would not text me, wouldn't do anything, right? And I would finally hear from him at like 5, 6 o'clock. By this time, now my whole day's ruined because I'm just steaming, because you can't send your report up until I've given you the okay, and I'm not going to do it until I've talked to
I
everybody.
wasn't an asshole or anything.
No, but this kid just,
I mean,
he
it's
was,
not like I would chew your ass if I didn't get to something.
well, for at least for 30 seconds, but
20
20.
seconds.
So what I did is I told him, every morning you're going to get a text from me with a location. You're going to go to that location and you're going to take a picture and call me from that location and text me that picture, verifying of whatever it is I told you to take a picture of. I'm going to tell you something. For like the next 3 weekends, he got to see everything in Georgia. I had him go to the lighthouse at Tybee.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. He was out there at Jekyll Island.
Jekyll Island,
Yeah.
Tybee.
I had him at one end of Georgia to the other end of Georgia. And I told him, I said, the first time I don't receive what I'm told that I told you, you're going back down to E1. I said, I'm done. Man, there was no issues out there. If he had to do it now with the gas prices now, he'd been filing for an AER loan.
That's Army Emergency Relief for those that don't know what
Yeah.
AER is.
Yeah.
Military acronyms, blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, man, I don't know, man.
Have you ever been the pun of a, not a joke, but a situation that just did not turn out favorable to you?
That did not turn out favorable?
Yeah. I know the perfect one.
What
So
you got?
So
What you got?
when I was in Bosnia, right?
Oh. So that had nothing to do with me?
Nothing to do with you,
All
right?
All right. I was waiting for the Doug Norris joke or some shit.
So when I was in
Another
Bosnia, right?
podcast, obviously.
The only TV channel we got was what?
That
AFN.
AFN channel, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So there was a AFN commercial, and they were asking people for volunteer surgeries because the combat had slowed down, and they wanted minor surgeries to keep their skills intact.
Right. Yeah.
Does vasectomies count as minor?
Oh, that's right. You got one over there.
So I said, look, my wife has had nothing but problems with this second child. I wanted to get my nuts cut off, and it briefed well. The plan briefed awesome in my head. It did not turn out awesome. So my thoughts was, I go and get the surgery while I'm in Bosnia. By the time I come back, I'm healed. And we all know what everybody does when you first get back from deployments. It's like newlywed week.
Fuck like rabbits.
Yeah. I did. And
you didn't fuck like a rabbit.
No, it went downhill from there. So there was certain parts of that whole process that they couldn't do in Bosnia. One being the sperm count, right? So they told you after you get the surgery, you're gonna have to, after coming for 15 times, go back to Landstuhl and have a sperm count done before you stop using protection, right? So I was like, okay, I can do that.
So wait. So you got the vasectomy, right?
I got the vasectomy.
And you're supposed to still have a sperm count after the vasectomy?
They said that it'll take 15 times to flush out the sperm after.
So after you got the vasectomy, you gotta ejaculate 15 times
to flush out.
It's
to flush everything
done.
out. Yep. Because otherwise, there's still a chance of pregnancy.
I'm so not understanding that right now.
Well, you think about it this way.
Was it a Bosnian doctor?
No, if you have a tube.
It was an American doctor?
If you have a tube and this is the end that can get you pregnant.
Like fucking, everybody from Point 160 said you're a lug nut, so your tube wasn't that fucking big.
Doesn't matter. There's still two ends to it. It might have only been one sperm, but it might not have taken me 15 times.
You had to beat off 15 times.
They recommend 15 times. It's a recommendation.
They give you music and fucking videos and shit?
No, you do that on your own. And then you go.
They didn't even give you like a magazine.
No, you go.
Like what was the magazine back then? It was
Easy Rider for me.
Well, it was Easy Rider, but there was that one that just came out with the fucking titties and shit too. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, go ahead.
But anyway,
go ahead.
So,
I'm sorry.
Kind of on that lug nut topic, right?
Lug nut topic. Go.
So, I had a friend of mine who gave me some advice since where we were at was kind of shitty living conditions. He said, don't shave everything. Just shave from the dick down. Right? So I guess he didn't take in consideration that between the volume that they give you and already being a grower, not a shower, that you may be getting taped across your hair that you didn't shave. So when you get the procedure, they flop your dick up and then they tape it across so that it doesn't get in the way.
You know that we're videotaping this too, right?
Right.
Okay.
So I get the procedure.
So it's a little piece of tape.
They cut strip down 100-mile-per-hour tape in half.
100 mile an hour. So a lot of people don't know what 100-mile-an-hour tape is. Well, civilian terms is duct tape.
Yeah, it is duct tape. So I get the procedure done, right? And then we fly back to Germany. And I've now done the deed 15 times. It's time for me to go get checked, right?
You really beat off 15 times?
Probably more than that. But I did have like 4 months left before I got back to my wife. So I went to sick call because that's when they did the count. And I got there, it was like 8:50. Now I wasn't near Landstuhl. That's like an hour and a half drive from where I was at. And I get there, and the lady, there's all these wives in the waiting room, and I walk in. I'm trying to be quiet, and I said, "Hey, I'm here for a sperm count." And the lady looks at me and she goes, "It was actually like an E4." She looked at me and she goes, "Did you bring a specimen?" I said, "No, I didn't know I was supposed to." And she goes, "You didn't bring."
Wait, so you were supposed to bring like a cup of sperm?
I guess.
With you?
I mean, they don't give you.
It?
I don't know.
Or are they testing it?
All they do is
make
test
sure
it.
There's nothing in there or something. It's just blank.
Yep. They look at it underneath a microscope, right? So I was like, they didn't tell me to bring one. I had it done in Bosnia. She goes, "You didn't bring a specimen?" I said, "What did you want me to do? Put it in a Ziploc baggie?"
Why didn't you?
I didn't know I was even supposed to bring it, but by this time,
over there?
Yeah. By this time, I was like pissed, right? Well, her response didn't go well for me either. Her response was, "Well, we only do this during sick call hours, and that ends in 10 minutes. There's cups in the bathroom. If you can get it done in 10 minutes, then we'll still see you." So every woman that was sitting in that area knew that I was going to the bathroom to beat off. I came back clean, by the way. I accomplished the mission, but it was pretty embarrassing.
It's funny you bring that shit up though, because like I think it was a platoon sergeant at that time. I don't even know if I was first sergeant. I might have been a first sergeant because I was a dick either way. So
you could have been an E5.
You said dick, but well, I mean there too. So I was a dick my whole military career, but so there was I had a guy that went and got a vasectomy because he didn't want to go to NTC. He went not because he didn't want to knock his wife up again. It was because he didn't want to go to NTC. So the way out of going to NTC, I got a scheduled vasectomy. But it wasn't scheduled until we got the date for NTC, right? I knew this shit. I was reading this guy. I was reading him. And I was just like, all right, fucking get your vasectomy. He was still on my Manning roster for NTC. You're going, bitch. But I just got a vasectomy. I don't care. Wrap that shit up in a sock. Get on that fucking...
It's only 3 days of quarters.
It is too, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
only
yeah.
3 days of
I was
close.
like, wrap that shit up in a sock, get the fuck on the bus. We're going to NTC. So we got on the bus. Get there. I was like, well, of course, the military doctor gave him like fucking the light duty and all
Yep.
sorts of shit.
It's 2
I
weeks of
was
light
like, that's
duty
fine,
and
dude. I need somebody to guard these containers anyway. So, but how am I going to do it? My profile states that I can only stand for so long. I was like, I got you, bro. Here's a bucket. Sit on this fucking bucket while you're guarding my fucking container. I can't sit on the bucket. It states here that I got to have something to sit. I got you, bro. Don't worry about it. And I took
a
out my
bucket
knife.
qualifies as something.
I took out my knife and I made it like a shitter. I cut out a little fucking hole. Put your fucking nuts right there over that hole. You're wearing your sock, right? I told you to wear a fucking sock. Sit the fuck down. Put your nuts right over that fucking hole. Guard my fucking container. We'll be back. That happened twice in my military career, actually.
Yeah.
Somebody tried that shit.
You know what they gave me? They gave me a fucking 2x4. They nailed a fucking 2x4 to the guard tower.
Dude, I was so going another way with that.
My nuts were this. Literally, like, I went to take a shit and my dick was resting on my nuts. They were that swollen. I was actually proud. They ain't never been that big in their life.
I don't even know where to go with that. So let's take it to something else here. Let's get off of nuts. Period. Right? Let's just go away. Let's just go away from this whole nut telling stories and shit. Let's just damn. It's like fuck. Damn.
So I had a soldier, right? Have you ever watched a soldier make a decision and then his life just spirals from there?
I cannot answer that question right now.
I had a soldier come up to me, right? He's like, hey, Sergeant, this was in Germany too, by the way. He says, hey, Sergeant, I got a question for you. I said, what's up, man? We're out there morning PT. And he goes, is it supposed to burn when I piss? He's like, I think I caught something. I said, check it out, man. I said, go ahead and head back to your room, get changed, and after PT, I'll take you down to the health office down there.
Oh man!
I said, I don't want to take you to our aid station because that shit will be
everywhere. I don't
everywhere.
even know what you're gonna name this fucking podcast right now, right? Because I know where you're going with this shit.
No, I'm not.
No, okay, go ahead.
So he goes down there, right? And being in Germany, you don't get results instantly. So he gets the test done.
Okay, what was the test? He got rotted.
He got rotted. Right, and then
they still use glass tubes.
I didn't go in there with him. I don't know.
So you don't know what they used?
I know he came back.
Or the Q-tip.
I think it was a Q-tip.
Either way,
he came out crying.
Either fucking way.
So, anyways,
I'm crying just thinking about it.
So he comes out, right, and he's mad now. You know, like crying, pissed. And he's like, I knew that hoe was fucking cheating on me. I ain't been with nobody else, right? So he calls her on the way back to the barracks. I mean, he's just cussing her ass out, right? And they end up breaking up, and he was gonna get married to this chick, and he loved her and everything, and they ended up breaking up over this. And it turned out he had a urinary tract infection.
from before getting swabbed.
Yeah.
Oh.
The results came back like a week later, and it wasn't an STD. It was just a urinary tract infection. Man, I didn't laugh at him at the time because he was so depressed. But man, from that day, from when he told me all the way to like the next 2 weeks, his life just went to shit.
My Lord, dude. So like, I'm trying to think of something else. Just like off the fucking wall, you know. So I mean, it's not funny. You know, I got beat the fuck up one time, right?
Oh, I gotta hear this.
No. So it was a legitimate fight.
Okay.
It was a legitimate fight. So I entered the ring, and I'm fucking, you know, I'm higher than life. Every time I hopped in the ring, I fucking, you know, they'd introduce me, Doug. Doug, this about, hey, Norton, fucking blah, blah, blah. And you know, up to that point, I never lost. And fucking, I was great at submissions and shit like that. This motherfucker, man, this was Aberdeen, I think it was. And fucking, man, I went up against this guy, man, and he fucking hit me so many times in the kidneys. I about fucking just lost it. But I hit him so many times in the fucking face, I broke my fucking hand on his fucking face. So this was the first time I broke my hand. And like, I could only hit with my left. My left sucked.
Yeah.
So the only way I could get this motherfucker or to win was to get him down and fucking submit him or some shit, right? But I could not do it, man. This motherfucker wrapped the fuck around me and fucking, I mean, he hit me so many times in kidneys. I was ready to fucking throw the towel in. And then finally the fight was over. It was decision. I lost, right? I was like, all right, cool. Let me walk the fuck away from this shit. Then, well, that night when I went home, dude, I was fucking pissing blood. Like, I was fucking pissing blood. I didn't know what, that was the first time ever, like, I was pissing blood. So it was just like, oh my God. So I went to the doctor. Walter Reed of all fucking places, right? Because Aberdeen. So I'm over there and they're like, well, what's the piss? Was it the beginning of the stream, during the stream, or after the stream? I was like, I don't fucking know. I'm pissing blood. I looked down. I started pissing. I looked down and it's red. What must have been during? Well, I don't fucking know. All I know is I was pissing blood. Beginning, during, maybe it was the whole fucking thing. I don't know. You know?
I know it ain't supposed to.
So I'm talking to, and like, so they're like, well, we got to check your prostate. I was like, oh my Lord.
He didn't hit
at
that.
At that time, I was like, yeah, no shit, right? I was like, oh, whoa, wait. No, yeah, it was nowhere near that, you know? And so I'm in there, and dude, I've never had that shit checked before, you know? And you know, it's just like that's more than just the fucking a finger up your ass and fucking woo, brought me to my knees, man. I'll tell you, grown man crying. Oh, I was fucking just like in tears.
Right.
You mother! I wanted to turn around and beat the fuck out of this doctor, right?
I'll break my left hand.
And it kind of found out it was just I took too many punches of kidneys and it fucking bruised my kidneys and I was missing blood for a week. And then after that, it went away. But I still had to go through that fucking pain. That was more pain than getting punched in the kidneys.
I believe it.
I've never went through that. Dude, I got blown up with when the rockets hit my tank. I got blown up. Did not go through that pain. Well, actually, it knocked me out, but I mean, I didn't go through that pain that I went through with that fucking doctor. But then there, at the same time, well, not the same time, but I had to see Walter Reed while I was still in Aberdeen for the TBI and the PTSD and shit, chronic migraines and shit like that.
Right.
I showed up one day. I'm switching subjects already, but I showed up one day and they're just like, well, I see they checked you for malaria while you were in when you were in Iraq, and I was like, yeah, they did. I was like, I was negative, blah blah blah. They gave me a morphine drip for 2 weeks and then released me out of the hospital. It just went away, right? And I was like, well, they're back, and that's why I'm here, seeing the neurologist and all this other shit. And they're like, well, we want to test you again for malaria. Why? Because I was thinking like a spinal tap they can only do like so many times in your lifetime, right? Because that shit's some serious shit, right?
Yeah.
And then so they're like, well, we want to do it again. I was like, all right, whatever, let's get it over with because I'm a lab rat anyway. You guys have done fed me like fucking 20 different meds that don't fucking work anyway. So let's get it over with. So I lay down in the fetal position on this fucking bed, right? And they're like, oh, when I get there, they're like, hey, oh, by the way, we got a student that we want to, you know, he's going to be doing it, administering the spinal tap today. I'm right here with him, and we're gonna make sure he gets it right. That motherfucker didn't get it right, bro.
Oh.
He
man.
missed that fucking spot and hit a fucking nerve. And I swear to God, dude, I could have jumped up and fucking beat the fuck out of all of them in that room if my leg would have stopped kicking. They hit a nerve, and I swear to God, my whole body felt like it was paralyzed. I mean, one kick of the fucking leg, and it's just like I was just like, "What's going on right now?" It hurt so fucking bad, and like I was like, "Get him the fuck away from me." His spinal fluid is just thick, like syrup,
Yeah.
all over my fucking back. Like he hit the spine,
And went through it.
but did not. He had to have gone through it. But dude, like that was the worst. That was worse than getting blown up.
Oh yeah.
That was worse than getting blown up. What was that motherfucker give me a spinal tap missing the spot?
Well, that's why they call a doctor's profession as practice.
Holy fuck. Yeah, no shit, right? Exactly. Motherfucker. Exactly.
You know, it's funny you was talking about fighting, right? So, one of my boxing matches, I was back there, and I was later in the day. By this time, I was like a light heavyweight, and I was back there in the locker rooms, and I see this lightweight kid, you know, and he's trying to wrap his hands, and I walked up. I said, I mean, because he was doing it completely wrong. he didn't even have his thumb in the thumb hole part of it. He was wrapping from the back side of it. And I walked up and I said, "Hey, you need some help?" And he goes, "Yeah, I ain't never done this before." I said, "Is this like your first fight?"
That's one you were going against?
No,
Or?
no,
Oh,
no. He was a lightweight,
okay.
and I was like, I'll help you." I was like, "Have you been training?" And he goes, "Yeah." I said, "Who have you been training with?" He said, "Oh,
I got
just myself."
combative level 1.
Yeah. Now this is a boxing match, right? I said, you know this might not be a good idea, man." I said, it's there ain't no shame in training a little bit longer and doing it later. No, I'm gonna do it. So I wrap his hands for him, right? He's got these leopard cheetah shorts, right? He walks out to the theme of The Eye of the Tiger. I can't make this shit up. He has his
Everybody has their theme songs, bro.
yeah.
What was his like fight name? What was his ring name?
He wasn't in the ring long enough to get a ring name.
Like that was his very first fight. Like
Yeah.
he never. Oh no shit.
And he had these. He
like
had his.
there was the introduction was like Private So and So or something.
Yeah, they said his name. That's all they
Yeah,
said.
That's
But
it.
but he had his like 16 or 17-year-old girlfriend walk him up to the ring, and she was in this leopard skin bodysuit, right? And
Wait, his girlfriend?
yeah,
So she had a matching suit to his
trunks.
trunks or his boxers or whatever the fuck he was wearing.
Yeah, she made the shorts and the suit for her.
Was it like skin tight? Was she hot?
Yeah, she wasn't bad,
She wasn't bad.
but she was like 16, 17,
Oh, never mind.
right?
Never
I
mind.
guess he was actually living with.
Well, she's old enough now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he was living with that E7 that was her dad. No way in hell. But anyways, so he gets up there.
I don't even know what.
He gets up there, and the bell rings, and he walks out. And the other guy walks up and hits him with a right hook, and the fight's over.
That's it.
One punch, a right hook, and that fucker didn't get up before the referee could have got to 100. I think he was laying there waiting to see if a janitor
I
would
think
start
this
sweeping.
is kind of a bad episode right here because like so when my first duty station was Fort Campbell.
Okay.
So when I graduated AIT, my first duty station was Campbell, and I went over there, and everybody was at JRTC or NTC or some shit, and like only Rear D was back there. So I said, "What the fuck?" So like, it was just like, "What the fuck is there to do?" Right? They just went, and that was back when like being maintenance, it could last 40 fucking days before you come back.
Right.
So I'm like, "What the fuck am I gonna do for 40 fucking days?" Right? So I started wrestling for Fort Campbell, and I started wrestling for Fort Campbell, and so I I think it was my first match. Me and this dude went together. I think it was from Fort Bragg, and almost straight out of high school. I mean, it was a couple years out of high school, but I mean, I wrestled when I was in high school too. I was pretty good, and me and him like fucking. We're going around in circles and shit, circles, circles, and all of a sudden we just both went for the legs at the same time. Bah! Blood every fucking where. I'm like, I was like, bro, you okay? I ain't bleeding. I said, what the fuck you mean I ain't bleeding, man? Blood everywhere. It's you, bro. And I was like, what? He split my fucking eye open, man.
Oh yeah, they
head to
bleed
head,
too. Yeah.
head to head. The fucking split it open. So then I go to the emergency room right there on Fort Campbell. And I must have fucking been there forever. MPs had to come. What do you mean you were wrestling? What do you mean you got in a fight? No, they just turned my story, right?
Yeah.
I had to make a statement, all this other shit before another fucking doctor came in and said, that's too close to the eye. I ain't fucking stitching it. And then fucking had to wait for a specialist to come in. I was like, well, fuck, man. You might as well just try to throw some butterfly stitches up on that motherfucker. I mean, it's going to be fucking dry before then. I mean, what the fuck is going on, right? And then finally, specialist comes from Nashville down to fucking stitch my fucking eye up right above the eyeball. And he stitched it up and shit. And I was just like, I mean, that was my first like real army experience. It's just like, are you guys really this fucking stupid?
I mean, like, if I was that specialist, he probably got here and he's like, this is what I got called in for? To throw some stitches in?
I mean, it was so stupid, man. I think he was a civilian too that they called in. It's just like, if Amy was there, she would have stitched me up. She would have stitched me up right then and there.
Right.
I tried to fucking like say, hey, go fight. You know, when I go fight, come with me so you can stitch me up when I get fucked up. But, you know, she's got her priorities.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, she's up for full bird and shit, so.
Well, it's funny the situations that we find ourselves in. You know,
I got one more.
Okay,
all
right.
No. One more. Talk about Campbell, right? So I had a buddy that I met there. Matter of fact, it was my shithook unit. At that time, it was 7th and 101st Aviation before they went to 159th or whatever the fuck it was they went to. And my buddy was 426 support battalion, right? That's what back when like you couldn't change engines, you couldn't do this and that. You had to take it to this forward support unit, the third shop, to fucking fix your shit, right? Well, anyway, he was over there, but so me and him were out fucking drinking one night, and he was a scrawny ass little bitch, one eyebrow straight across his fucking head and shit. And he was all about cars, but even though he drove this like 4-door fucking Chevy, fucking Caprice or fucking Cavalier or some shit, I don't know. Anyway, you know lemon lots back then, right?
Yep.
They were lit up like a football field at night, right?
Right.
Well, that tells you there's no sign saying stay out, nothing like that. We were drinking and shit. We're both under fucking age at that time. We're still fucking not 21. Got some fake ID cards, but we're not 21 yet, right? And so we pull in this lemon lot, and he's like, oh man, I want to check out this car. He opens his trunk, pulls up next to the car, opens his trunk, pulls out a fucking flashlight and shit. He's up under the car looking for leaks and shit. And I'm just standing next to the car. I guess the MPs thought I was a lookout because they came pulling up. Them motherfuckers, man, didn't ask no questions, fucking threw the cuffs on me, threw me in the back of their fucking car, grabbed him by the legs and pulled him out from under the car and shit, threw the cuffs on him, threw him back in the car, and I was just like, at that time, I'm just like, dude, I ain't even met my unit yet, you know? I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then we're trying to explain to them. They're going through his car, and I don't know how they didn't find a beer in the back, even though he was, all the trash went to the back seat, you know, floorboard. Right. There was plenty of beer cans. They could have found them, but they didn't see them. They searched his car for car parts. They thought we were stealing fucking parts off this car he was checking out. and fucking threw us. I mean, they did not. That we got like we must have been there like 2 hours before the MPs. Mel, that's why I don't like MPs, Mel. But 2 hours, man, we spent at the lemon lot trying to let these motherfuckers let us go, to go like just to go back to the barracks or whatever it was. It's just like, that's what put a bad taste in pieces. My motherfuckers,
Snitches.
you sons of bitches. But anyway, go ahead.
Hey, you know, everybody knows why we're doing this. You know, we are out here trying to put the end of veteran suicide. We try to keep things funny and hopes that y'all laugh today and see there's a reason to live tomorrow. If you need some help, say something.
Sorry, I distracted him. I'm sorry.
So, if you need something, say something. The suicide prevention number is 1-800-273-8255. There's.
Thank you, bro.
Yep.
Appreciate that.
What?
Fucker, you just pushed it in front of me.
Yeah.
Go ahead, fucker.
So the another way you can reach us is through our website at savajearmy.com. You can leave comments on our posts. You can reach us through Messenger.